If you're a student in college right now and you're wondering what are some helpful ways to build your credit scores so that you can purchase your first home with no issues, well, this episode is for you.
You would always want to be on the side of having good credit.
You think it pays to have good credit? There's going to be 4 important topics when it comes to building your credit scores in between the age of 18 to 25. Number 1, stay away from student loans. That is the number 1 item that I see on credit reports from our clients who enroll into Sturgis Credit Repair. A lot of them have degrees, they're lawyers, and a lot of these consumers, they have 500 credit scores. And although they have these nice fancy degrees, a lot of them cannot purchase their first home today because they have a 500 credit score from these delinquent payments and charge-offs on these student loans. So a lot of times it sounds good that these student loans are going to let you go to college, you graduate on time, but guess what? You have to pay that stuff back. So stay away from debt while you're in college. Stay away from student loans. That is the number 1 thing that may take away from cash flow after college, or that just may wreck your finances while you're in college because you may not be educated enough on how to budget, carefully. So staying away from student loans is the number 1 thing that I recommend. Number 2, build credit by becoming an authorized user on your parents' credit cards. Now, this is only going to work if your parents have good credit and they're responsible with their credit cards. Because if these parents are maxing out their credit cards, blowing it every month, and they don't pay it off, guess who that is also going to affect? You. If they leave balances on their credit cards, that also drop your credit score. So if you're an authorized user on your mom or your dad's credit card and he or she forgot to pay it and a new late payment hits, well, guess who also is going to see a drop in their credit score? You. So only become an authorized user on someone's account if it's paid every month or not used. That way it builds your credit score every single month and there's no balance reported because it's paid. There's no interest paid, whatever the case is. So only become an authorized user if you are 100% sure that this person is not using the card or is paid in full every single month. If not, it's going to affect you, and that scratched the whole point of me even recommending this. Number 3, if you don't have a parent who uses credit cards correctly, or maybe they don't have credit, well, number 3, you need to take action into your own hands. The next free or easiest thing for you to do is get your own credit card. Now, if you don't have any credit, you're probably not going to walk into a traditional bank and just getting a random credit card. You're going to have to start from baby steps. You're going to have to get a secured credit card. You're going to have to 9 times out of 10 deposit some type of money onto your credit card, and that's going to be used as your credit limit. So if you don't have a bank or you're not familiar with who you can go through to open up your first secured card, we actually have one on the Sturgis Credit Repair website. So if you click our credit building products page, if you scroll down, there should be a secured credit card option, and there's no hard inquiry to apply. So once you get approved, you get the card in the mail, you activate it. My advice: throw it away, don't use it. Just open it and let it report. That is going to slowly build your credit history. Number 4, the last thing that I would recommend, this is the one that may somewhat but not cost you. If you go to the App Store on your phone, there are so many apps these days that helps you build your credit scores. There's one that's called Self. SELF. It's a blue app that's on your phone. It's probably the first app that is going to pop up, and the most common one. I think you pay like $20 or $25 a month. However, you're not really throwing that money completely away because supposedly it goes into a locked savings account. So whenever you cancel it, anytime you want to, or if you're done with the term, then they release the money back to you. So apparently that money is supposed to just be used to build your credit scores and is used to report to the credit bureaus. Now, the reason why I say it may not cost you as much because you're still spending some type of money to build your credit scores and to have it reported. But I believe they also take out some sort of fee whenever you do cash out. You know, I haven't really used it personally, but I know a lot of my clients have used it, or, you know, people sign up and I see it on their credit reports. Thankfully, I just never cared to use it or never had to use it as a young adult. But that is the last option, is to use these credit builder accounts that really doesn't cost you anything but a hamburger, right? You know, $20 a month. There's several other accounts or apps that you can check out. If you go to the Sturgis Credit Repair page, I have a lot of those sort of apps listed on the website for you guys. So those are 4 things that I recommend you guys to do to build credit as a college student or a young adult in between the age of 18 to 25 years old. And the reason why it's important to build your credit at this early age is so once you graduate or once you're in your mid-20s, you can purchase your first home with no issues using credit. Why is it important to use credit to buy your first home? Number one, I highly doubt anyone between the age of 18 to 25 is going to have $500,000 in their bank account by then, and they can just write a check for their first house. No, you know, you're not going to be able to do that. So you're using credit to get a head start on building wealth. No, buying a house is not a initial investment, and it doesn't mean you're wealthy just because you bought a house. In fact, it's actually a liability whenever you first purchase a home, because you have a monthly mortgage. Every single month you have a payment. But the reason you're using your credit to purchase your first home is because eventually it's going to be paid off. And what is your biggest expense as an adult? The place where you live, your rent payment, your mortgage payment, whatever it is. You're using credit to build your first house, because eventually once it's paid off, you're going to eliminate your biggest expense as an adult, which is the place you live. So if you no longer have a mortgage and you don't have to pay a landlord for rent, you don't have to pay a bank for a mortgage, you know, your home is paid for besides your property tax and insurance. But I mean, what is that, like $2,000 a year? So that is why it's very important to take care of your financial background, your financial life now. Take care of your credit history, build it correctly so that you can get a head start in paying off your highest expense as an adult at an early age. If you start now at 25 years old with your first home, you know, hopefully by the time you're in your 40s, you can probably have that paid off. If you're really smart with your money and you have a good paying job, you know, you use your degree to find a career that you really love, you can probably be debt free within maybe 10 or 15 years. So again, those are some topics that I highly suggest you guys do if you're in the age group of 18 to 25. And that is going to help you build your credit scores very fairly and very safely.
Sturgis Credit Repair. Sturgis Credit Repair. If you want a new house, call us. If you need